Good morning. Thank you all very much for being here. I am Travis County Judge Andy Brown, and it's a very exciting day today for our community. We're coming together to help our unsheltered neighbors here in Travis County. Today, the Commissioners Court approved a $35 million contract with Mobile Loaves and Fishes. This is the first contract executed as part of the $110 million that we received as part of the Rescue Act funding from President Biden and Congressman Doggett that we set aside in September 2021. We committed that $110 million to create 2,000 new supportive housing units to help meet the community's goal of rehousing 3,000 people in Travis County. Today's funding will build infrastructure for roughly 640 units at Community First Burleson Village, an important step in reaching our goal. Travis County is helping pave the way and lay the foundation for our unhoused neighbors to receive access to a better life. The $35 million will pay for roads, utilities, and home foundations at Burleson Village. Additionally, our funding will help create laundry services, restrooms, shower facilities, and outdoor kitchens. Together, we are strengthening what it means to call a community home. Our dedicated funding will also support a deeper level of healing. Through Mobile Loaves and Fishes, residents get physical and mental health care, addiction recovery services, dignified working opportunities, and most importantly, a voice. Austin has an affordability crisis, but it doesn't have to have a moral one too. These are people that we're helping. They've been through a traumatic experience or traumatic experiences, and they deserve dignified and respectful help. Big picture, we aren't stopping with today's contract. Travis County still has $75 million of this funding to distribute. Our next contracts include funding for the Other Ones Foundation, followed by Foundation Communities, Juniper Creek, and the Travis County Collaborative. In closing, I want to thank Mobile Loaves and Fishes, Alan Graham, and the many other partners for their commitment to one of our most vulnerable populations. I also want to thank our County Executive for Health and Human Services, Pilar Sanchez, for just pulling this all together and making it get finished and getting us across the finish line, coordinating all the outside counsel, the outside contractors, the inside folks at Travis County, and making it all work for us. She's a real testament to the quality of leadership that's present here at Travis County and continues to be an instrumental voice in our discussions with other community organizations. So today we can celebrate treating all people in our community with dignity and respect through safe, stable housing, and that's something to be proud of. So we've got a couple other speakers. Let me just run through the list real quick. First, we'll hear from Congressman Lloyd Doggett, then County Commissioner Margaret Gomez, who worked very hard on this and making sure that it happened, as well as Alan Graham, founder and CEO of Mobile Loaves and Fishes, and Commissioner Jeff Trevelyan as well. So right now, I'll pass it over to Congressman Doggett.
Well, thank you, Judge. I'm really here to salute your leadership and that of Commissioners Court generally, but especially Commissioner Gomez and Commissioner Trevelyan. This is an important announcement today. The American Rescue Plan was just that. It was designed to provide a lifeline to save individual lives and to prevent economic catastrophe from continuing. This plan became law after failures by President Trump and our state leadership, where our local leaders in so many ways, not just on this housing issue, picked up the load and protected lives here in our community. Austin and other communities were able to save lives and keep businesses afloat. Approving this appropriation, the whole $110 million that has come to the county from which this $35 million is drawn, was not easy. Every Texas Republican voted against the rescue plan legislation. And one of the biggest battles concerned whether our counties and our cities would get any money at all. I'm pleased with our success. It was based on the principle that if you provide resources to our local leaders, they can best identify where the needs are. And I think that's exactly what they've done in identifying homelessness and the need to house the homeless as a critical issue that affects all of us in this community. I've been to Community First, seen what Loaves and Fishes has done. What Alan has accomplished there is truly remarkable. Not only providing a roof over the heads of those who've been out on the streets, but a spirit of community with an opportunity for our most vulnerable neighbors to succeed. It's so great to know that these hard-fought federal dollars are being put to good use, creating another village, a Burleson village, a place for physical and mental renewal, for respect, and for opportunity. Similarly, Walter Moreau, who's here from Foundation Communities. I think, Walter, we decided we did the first housing for homeless here actually before Alan had even gotten the program out of Community First underway, and a partnership here between Community First and Foundation to build and offer supportive services in this village. There is no panacea, obviously, for homelessness. There's no one-size-fits-all, but what these programs are doing, what these dollars will be doing, combining with other dollars from generous private donors, a true public-private partnership permits an innovative approach to this serious societal problem. So with the construction of 640 units, there are hundreds of our most vulnerable neighbors who will have a path out of chronic homelessness and a way to break the cycle. This dedicated $35 million of federal money that is going into this contract, combined with what others are doing, means housing for hundreds and infrastructure for even more. Just as we're working to solve our opioid overdose public health crisis, just as they forged a path ahead to secure water and generators during the winter storm, just as they've worked relentlessly to get testing sites and vaccine sites at an earlier point across the community, Judge Brown and the commissioners have stepped forward to deliver solutions to house our vulnerable neighbors, collaborate with local nonprofits, and keep working to make our community a place of opportunity for all. Thank you very much, and thanks for all you've accomplished.
Thank you, Congressman. Do we have a step anywhere? A stool anywhere? I don't know. Anyhow, Commissioner Gomez, you are up next. I'm going to try to find that stool.
Thanks so much. Let me see if I need to, do I need to lower this?
We want to see all of you, Margaret.
Thanks. Oh.
Great.
All right. Thank you. All right. This is good. Well, I'm very excited for this day. I thought it would never come. We've been talking to Alan, and thank you, Alan, for coming to us with this great idea of duplicating your accomplishment with Community First. And we have been working on this issue for a good time, and we didn't really know what we were going to do. But thank you, Congressman, for that money, that the federal funds that we got, because there's no better way to implement those funds than through housing our neighbors in Travis County. And so it was really great to hear from Alan and Walter as well, you know, the partnership and your partners that y'all got together to come up with a plan that was saleable to us. When I heard about it, I thought this is the way to go, and so we got to working on that resolution to set aside the money for this purpose for the Burleson Village and for the other groups, the other proposals that we have presented to the public as well. So I'm very proud. I'm very glad to be here today to say it's a done deal. And we're going to get 640 units on the ground. And if anybody wants to come and check and see if we did it or not, there's proof. There will be proof on the ground that we really did carry out the purpose and the goal of the federal funds. So I'm ready to take the next step, and so I look forward to the groundbreaking, Alan. We need to do that, and it's going to be a great day for all of us. Thank you so much.
All right, Alan Graham, come on up.
I wish you would have left the stool, Judge, so that I could tower above you two titans in the Austin area. When I walked out of the warmth of my 400-square-foot home in the middle of Community First Village this morning and jumped into my truck and started it up with the windows up and the heat on and drove in the cold rain to come here this morning, I couldn't help but think about our friends that are on the streets and suffering in ways that is very difficult for us to understand. And in a lot of ways, as communities across the U.S., we ignore those things. But not today, not here in Austin, Texas, not amongst these titans of leadership that can show the power of public-private partnerships. And I will tell you that on September 14, 2021, when this county voted to appropriate this $110 million, it unleashed an avalanche of public support for the work that all of us are doing. And that is the power of what it is that we can do when we come together across the community, when we set the banquet table that is inclusive of every human being, every belief, every color, every religion, and welcome them to the banquet table that we call Austin, Travis County, Texas. Miracles will be able to happen. For Mobile Loaves and Fishes, I will tell you that one of the most exciting things about this is our collaboration with Foundation Communities. This was Walter's idea. He brought it to the table. We had been pursuing each other for a number of years to do something together. And it was his creative energy that said, hey, there's a bunch of money coming to the county. And that's what initiated this beautiful partnership, not only between Travis County and Mobile Loaves and Fishes, but Travis County, Mobile Loaves, and Foundation Communities. And what I'm hopeful is that this will spur an initiative for even far deeper collaboration across the nonprofit community, where we can demonstrate to we the people how powerful government and private partnerships can be. So Judge, Commissioner Trevelyan, Commissioner Gomez, and the other commissioners, and we're so appreciative. Pilar, you are a stud in leadership. Thank you so much. God bless y'all very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Trevelyan.
First of all, I would be remiss in starting my remarks if I didn't point out how important it is to have a congressman who lives in his community, who knows grandparents and parents and children in his community, and works to make sure that their needs are being met on every level, whether we're talking about access to health care, whether we're talking about access to food, whether we're talking about access to housing. Someone who has been a stalwart for years, and why it is so important to make sure that as we talk about drawing political subdivisions and gerrymandering, that we really remember what a representative government is supposed to be. And that is someone who lives in our community, who shares our values, who understands who we are, and who works to help us. And that's Lloyd Doggett. Let's recognize him. Also, let me thank a court led by someone who genuinely cares about the community that he grew up in, and our longest serving member who has dedicated her public life to making sure that people have opportunity here and that we're all included. It is very important, this type of work. I grew up in the poorest state in the Union with poverty all around. And we know that some things are necessary. First, a sense of community, which is embodied by what you do at Mobile Loaves and Fishes. I remember the first time we met. We talked about how we make it easier to get to Mobile Loaves and Fishes. We saw people walking in the middle of the street trying to get home. And we worked together to try to make sure that we built a sidewalk so that people didn't have to walk in the middle of the street. Travis County funded that. with its bond dollars. And the partnership that we created with Alan was to make sure that we get more mental health services for our community. It is an honor to do work with someone who could do just about anything that he wants to, but he chooses to serve. That is an important thing. We have to recognize also that a lot of the problems that we are addressing today, sometimes we look at public policy as a zero-sum game. What's going to happen tomorrow? But we've got to work on things with a sense of history and perspective. How do we address the needs? Because it is important to have a place to lay your head where you're safe and secure. But the other thing that Mobile Loaves and Fishes does is it recognizes that we need master planned communities, and it takes critical mass to get there. How do we make sure that there is health care on site? How do we make sure that we're addressing food needs on site? When there are young people around, how do we make sure that there are after-school programs for them? Those are the types of things that it takes a community to pull together. So when we build a community like this, it should be a master-planned community. We talked also about not concentrating everything in one place. So putting a new place together with similar needs and working together to share resources is critical and important. I want to also thank the Black Leadership Collective for the work that they have done with us all to make sure that we are culturally competent and we know the professionals from every ethnic background that are working on these issues. It is critical to address the needs of communities with the people who live in those communities so that we don't do anything for them without them being in the middle of it. And this has been a critically important process because we have included community. Certainly the devil is in the details. Certainly there's a lot to be done. Certainly there will be a need for more resources. But we are working together as partners to build community. And only when you do that do you get the community that you deserve, because you build it together. And that's what we're working to do, to build it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Okay, I know that we're going to wrap up. I just want to take 1 second to thank some of the public servants who worked behind the scenes on this under Pilar Sanchez's leadership. And again, want to thank Pilar for not being afraid to take on, this is a massive amount of money from a federal source, something that we have not dealt with before at the county. And Pilar led us through this new territory very well, along with her team, Lawrence Lyman, who I think is here today, Rochelle Olivares, Nathan Fernandez, as well as our county auditor. There was a lot of work, obviously, that Patty did, so thank you, Patty Smith and your team, David Jungerman as well, our purchasing team, led by Bonnie Floyd, the county attorney's team, our county attorney Adele Garza and her team, James Nickel, Prima Gregerson, Trilisha Brown, Barbara Wilson, Anne-Marie Sheely, Shireen Thomas, and Kinsky Moss. And then we couldn't also have done this with Alan without your lawyers and your team, Alan, Amber Fogarty, Laura Greibel, Quinn Martindale, and Kathleen Slack, who helped. We started meeting basically every Friday to work through all the details of this. It's a very long list. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody.
Did you remember PBO?
PBO as well. Yeah, I see Travis over there, Travis Gatlin, Jessica Rio, and team. Thank you all very much for everything you've done for this, and for my staff and Commissioner Howard and Commissioner Shea as well. This really was a team effort. It was new territory and would not have been possible without President Joe Biden and Congressman Doggett. So thank you all very much, and we're available for questions as you need them. Thank you. Yeah.
I guess is there a timetable when you guys can break ground, when construction will start, when it'll be complete, and what type of housing will be?
Yeah, as soon as possible, and I'll turn it over to Alan on the exact timeline there.
Well, the execution of these documents were key. We're about to go and sequester ourselves for a few minutes and finish that. This will unleash our procurement process, which is a bidding process, which is going to take us a couple of months. But I expect that right around summertime, in the next 3 months, that we will be out there with gold shovels in hand. And then from a timeline point of view, it takes about 2 years to complete the infrastructure construction. A year into that process-ish, we will be able to build vertically, and so we will be able to start building on the homes and the other accessory buildings that we're going to need in order to be able to support the neighbors that are going to be living on the property. And I would say by first to mid-2025, we're going to be moving men and women up off the streets of Austin, Texas, into a place that they can call home so they can heal from the ravages of living on the streets.
But these will be government dollars. They'll be copper shovels instead of gold.
Yeah.
Correction accepted. Yeah.
Hi, so in late 2021, y'all committed to 3,000 affordable housing units. It's early 2023. What's that progress looking like today?
This is the progress today so far. This is the concrete investment that we have made that's going to bring, I think, is it 640 or so units? There's additional units that Foundation Communities, will tell you about that once we get that finally approved. They have sort of the apartment building at the front end of this. The other one's Foundation, again, additional units there. And then sort of the other half of the $110 million is a collaboration of nonprofits that are doing something really new. And we're not there yet. The contracting, frankly, on that part is a little bit more, we want to make sure we get it right. We don't want to miss any details. So by the end of this, I think the goal is still getting to 3,000 units, but right now this is the 640, the first 640 of those units. Yeah.
I was wondering about the supportive services that would be available. You talked a little bit about the amenities of the laundry facilities and a kitchen, but what about supportive services that are going to be part of this?
Currently, we have on-site integral care, which has 10 to 12 full-time behavioral health specialists. We have community care, which provides primary health care on the property. We have family elder care, which provides elder care services, and that has turned out to be a big deal because our average age in the village is 57 years old, and our average age of death is 59. So people come to us pretty sick and towards the end of life, having been chronically homeless. On average in our village, 9 years, which is an incredible number. We have Austin Travis County EMS on site. They are awesome. We have Life Anew, which provides restorative justice practices on site to help people resolve conflict. Certainly, I'm missing some folks. Can't remember them all by head, but Laurel Griebel, who was mentioned earlier, was hired last year to do nothing but work with local partners into the community and bring them on site. And then all the other services that we have, both internally for us. Right now, we have over 90 full-time employees on site. We have about 55 missionals, men and women, that have been called to live in community with the formerly chronically homeless who have never been homeless themselves. I will tell you there's just nothing like this in a supportive manner anywhere that I've ever seen. And then we're going to quadruple down on that when Foundation Community joins us because they are the king of supportive services, and it'll be a great partnership. But we need more. If the community is going to heal and mitigate this issue, the community is going to have to jump in with folks like us and like Walter to be able to pull this off. So.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So appreciative of all you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.